Okay. So this isn't as fun for us. It's been a very hard couple of days. Josiah's grandma had another massive stroke. And so Josiah went to see her today. She's in the hospital. She's stable, but she's unresponsive. And so there's a lot going on there. Josiah went to see her today. And I had to stay home because we have a sick kitty.
Yeah.
And so I've been home with Kylo, who has been getting very violently ill. And it gets sick every 4 hours or so.
Yep, and he's not eating or drinking. So basically, we have an appointment on Monday. And
Tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. And we've been trying to feed him basically with a syringe, trying to get water into his system.
Water and some, so it's like a squeezy treat. Yeah. I've been squeezing a little bit of that into the water and mixing it just to give him a little bit of substance. Obviously, it's not the best for him, but it's what we have to do right now.
The good news is he still has a decent amount of strength and he's still able to walk on his own. He's not like I call it the critical point of weakness where he's unable to do anything without us. He's able to do stuff. He's very much slowed down and tried to rest a lot and that type of thing. So, which is, he should be fine until tomorrow. So we'll hopefully figure out what's going on tomorrow.
Yeah. But in the meantime, it's just been really stressful because there's just a lot going on right now. We were unable to go to church today, which kind of is going to throw our schedule off for the whole week. Because, I don't know about you, but every time we miss church, it's like, I don't know what to do. Anyway, but Kylo's been getting so sick, and the fluid that comes out has been staining the carpet. So we have to carpet clean basically our entire house.
I have to do it anyway, so, but
it just prioritizes it a little bit more. But we haven't touched any of the spots that he's gotten sick in yet because he's still getting sick. So until that calms down, we don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
He's been sleeping a lot. So we just kind of let him sleep. I feed him on and off. It's not easy. But Ella's doing great.
Yeah.
And Ash is doing great. They're both very happy. Ella just misses playing with Kylo. And the poor guy he's very weak. So we're hoping that he will feel better tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I will probably update you then. But did you want to go, take a peek at Kylo?
Sure.
Hey, buddy. Oh, he's his Rolly. Oh, he's a happy Floofy. He's happy as he could be. Yeah, I don't know how much you can see, but he's a very happy Floof. No. I know, buddy. I know it's rough. I know it's rough, buddy.
That has been our past couple of days. So,
yeah.
It's kind of what we're dealing with at the moment. It's not easy.
No, not at all.
Are you okay?
I'm doing fine. I knew with my grandma, I know that was happening because we had a couple scares before. And she's been having issues for the past couple years. So like I said, I'm prepared, and we're mostly just there for everyone else. I'm mostly just there for everyone else, like my grandfather and my father. So yeah.
Just doesn't make it any easier.
No, but There's only so much you can do.
Yeah. But Kylo will hopefully be feeling better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly think the decision with your grandma is going to be made tomorrow as well, based on what your dad was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow is going to be a big day for a lot of news.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll get through it.
Yeah, we will.
Mm-hmm.
But I will check back in with you at some point tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have time to touch base with you before we go into his appointment or not. So I'll talk to you when I get a chance.
Okay.
Hey, it is the next morning. We are starting to get ready to take Kylo to the vet. I just perked Ash up. Hey, baby. And Ella is sleeping in the chair. And here's my floof of the hour. You're gonna feel better soon, baby. Yeah. Alright. So Kylo just went in. I have you at an odd angle because it's kind of busy here and I don't want people to see that I'm recording because this isn't exactly the norm in our area. So they just took him back. When they get a chance to examine him, I will hear back. But the poor thing was mewing all the way here and I felt really bad. But I'm hoping that he feels better. And yeah, we'll see. I really don't have much else to say. I did have to call the vet and then meet them at the entrance with Kylo, and they took Kylo in and I had to come back to my car, which I don't love, but it is what it is in COVID times, you know? So just hanging out waiting for my poor baby. But we're hoping this helps. I will update you when I hear back. So the vet just came and talked to me. They're going to run a blood test, do some x-rays. We're gonna see if he has maybe a blockage in his system. There is a terminal disease that he wasn't tested for at 8 weeks when he was a kitten. So if that is the case, we're fighting a losing battle. I'm going to pray that that is not the case, but we are going to see how those tests come back, and hopefully Kylo will be okay. So I'm gonna hang out until his x-rays and blood work come back, and then I will check in with you all again. That was an emotional rush. Kylo was fine. He is coming home. He is actually right here, if you can see his carrier.
You need to tilt. Yeah.
And Josiah came because we had a bit of a scare.
Yeah.
Oh, my sweet boy. So when I said, like, I left off the last clip where you knew that there was a possibility you could have a terminal disease. He tested negative. He's fine.
Okay.
Do
you want to take the camera back?
Yeah, I can. He tested negative, and all of his stuff looks fine. I have a sigh in the back. I'm gonna drive him to our other car, which is parked in a different lot because of the way this lot is set up right now. I didn't want to take up an extra parking space. So I'm gonna drop Saya off. Are you just gonna come home? Because we're gonna get news from your grandma too, very soon. And like,
I probably should, yeah.
so you just want to go home today? That's perfectly fine.
I don't know. I want to go back to work. I can't figure out what I want to do. I think I want to wait for the news, and then I want to go back to work, I think.
Okay. Spend a few hours at home to try to make sure Kylo is truly okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got like a little camel hump right now. I'm gonna get going in just a minute so that way I don't piss him off. But he does have like a camel hump of fluids right now because his body needs to absorb fluids. He's a little bit dehydrated. He does need to go to the bathroom, so we're hoping that that works. He has antibiotics and we're gonna do all of that stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much the update. And we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
Just made it back home. I am an emotional wreck. There's just so much going on.
I know. Hey.
Anything you want to add?
This is just crazy today.
Yeah, it is crazy today. So, Ella's confused. She's like, where you bring my brother? Why was he gone? And here's the big floof. He's got a camelback right now. So this little spot right here is where the needle went and injected him with aguas. So he won't be dehydrated. And he's just chilling. He shouldn't get sick anymore because he has an anti-nausea. So if he gets sick, that's not a good sign. We have to call. But he's seeming fine. So we're not out of the woods yet. But we will be soon, hopefully. And this dude is just like confused. Hey, sorry, baby. Did I take your brother away? He does you. It's already been an emotional roller coaster of a day. But he's just thumping his tail against the box, which is normal for him.
Yeah, it's scaring me the hell out of me though.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing it for the past couple of days, so it's kind of jarring now.
It's just like the sound of him throwing up to me, like that instantly makes me think that.
I don't have words for you right now. I'm just... He's fine. For now. We've got him. He's on medication. Give a fourth a tablet by mouth every 3rd day until gone. I don't know why I had that so close to my face. I'm sorry. Oh, it's just one pill.
Yeah, but a fourth of it. So you give him a fourth of it.
So one pill 4 times?
No. A fourth of a pill. So 1/4 of that every 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like 4 times. That's what I'm saying. We gotta give this to him 4 times.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if we start this today. Does it say on the paperwork they gave us? He weighs 16 pounds. So he needs to go on a diet. I don't know why I'm recording at this point. I'm literally just speechless. I know the lighting isn't that great in here, but I did just want to touch base before Josiah and I go to bed. Kylo is acting his normal self for the most part. It was difficult to give him a pill, so we have a pill that he needs once every 3 days, but we had to quarter the pill. So like in 4 pieces, and then he gets 1 piece for those days. Yeah, weird. But we're doing it. So he got his first dose today. He initially had an issue when he first came home with trying to like eat or drink. He has eaten and drank at this point. However, he was anticipating getting sick. And you know when you're about to get sick and you have like a lot of saliva and you start salivating, and some people just kind of spit that out because actually if you spit it out it kind of helps you to not get sick, but he was doing that same thing. He was drooling and salivating and just it was all over, and so we were initially concerned like, what are we doing? And then I thought about it. I'm like, you know, he's probably just psyching himself out and preparing for it. I don't think he's actually like whatever. And so after we gave him the pill, because he actually had to swallow something, he like hardcore started salivating. And so I scooped him and I gave him lots of pets and attention. I made him a little mad, but it distracted him from thinking about the pill, and then he stopped drooling, and he hasn't drooled since. So I think that was our issue. But he's doing great now. He's not drooling anymore. And he wasn't on like any anesthesia or anything like that that would cause him to do that. So I'm pretty sure it's just one of those things where he was psyching himself out. So he's fine. He's actually perfect, as you can see. Yeah. Say we're soaking up 3 days worth of love and attention because we didn't get any because we were so sick and we didn't feel good. Right, Chunk? But somebody's starting a diet tomorrow, and it's not me. He's not going to be happy about it, but that's okay. And unfortunately, his sister also has to go on a diet because it can't just have one cat on a diet. It doesn't work that way. But he will go on a diet. He needs to lose some weight because he weighs just over 16 pounds, and that's considering he lost weight these past couple of days. So 16-pound baby. 13 is kind of the max that they like to go. So he has to lose at least 3 pounds, and that's because they want to make sure his liver is in working order, because if he weighs too much, it can cause issues with the liver that lead to liver failure. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but he does have a heart murmur. It's a very mild one. They rate them on a scale of 1 to 6, and 1 is the kind he has. Number 1 is very mild, nothing really to worry about, just monitor it and bring him in for his checkups and things. And 6 is like severe. So he's a number 1. He is fine. He's doing great. He's mouthy. He's jumping up on furniture. He's picking at things again. He's being the regular toddler that he is. But you guys didn't see exactly the full story when we went earlier today. So Josiah was at work. I called him at work because I was stressing out when they told me that he possibly had a terminal disease. Now, Kylo's symptoms, bothering Saya on the bed.
Yeah.
Kylo's symptoms were pretty much the same as Diesel's symptoms. Now, if you don't know, Diesel was my cat before I moved in with Josiah, and he passed away. Passed away well before Josiah and I moved in together. But he had a lot of the same symptoms. He had a condition where I think fluid was compressing his lungs, so it was very hard for him to breathe, and he was like consistently gagging, getting sick, all of that stuff. So because Kylo was showing the same symptoms, and then she gave me the news about we don't know if he has this terminal disease, that like sent me into a little bit of a panic. I'd called Josiah, and he came home. Well, not home. He parked at the business next door, walked over, because I didn't want to take up more parking spaces for people that actually needed to use the vet, because that's the way their system is at right now. Just it's in the parking lot. You call the number, they come out and get the pet, and then they come out to the car and talk to you, so all that good stuff. So like you're never really leaving your car, so I wanted to make sure the parking spaces were there for other people that needed to bring their pets in. So I had Saya walk over from the other business next door, and he sat with me, and he walked around the car and came and sat in the passenger seat as I was talking to Kylo's doctor. And Kylo. He's biting Josiah's arm hair. Needless to say, he's being his normal picky self. So she reiterated everything for Josiah as we were going through the whole list. It was stressful. And after she left, Josiah and I held each other and we had a moment where we just sobbed because we were so relieved that this wasn't the case. It was intense. But I will say, I have a huge, huge appreciation for Josiah. I don't know how I would have gotten through any of this without him. And, like, I'm speechless. So when this all started on Friday, I did all of the work for almost 24 hours and I was getting burnt out, and I told Josiah, like, hey, I feel like I'm doing all the work here with Kylo. I really can't handle everything, so I really need some help. And then Josiah decided, okay, well, I can do this and this. I'll take care of him for X amount of, like, not feedings, because we weren't feeding him in the middle of the night, but like when we were sleeping, we were listening out for him, so that way if he did get sick, we'd be able to get up and help him, because he was getting so violently ill that his whole body just like would collapse, and we didn't want him to get covered and all of that stuff. So we had to wake up and hold him and make sure it was all out of his system before we let him go, and then we cleaned the vomit. But yeah, it was a lot to have to listen out for him as we were trying to sleep. So I did that for one whole night by myself, and then I told Josiah, I'm like, honey, I'm not sleeping. I haven't slept in days just because I typically don't sleep well anyway, and I was already not sleeping well. And so I told him, like, hey, I really need help. And he's like, you know what? I got X amount of feedings for tonight, and I will, like, tap you when it is your turn. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then the next night, it was the last night that we had to get through before his appointment, so it was last night. And I'm like, okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like you are awake and you're happy, and 10 being like you're exhausted, falling over, where's your level? And he said that he was a 3, and I said that I was a 6. So we came up with, he gets up for the first 2, and then I'll get up for the rest. Because his sickness would basically happen every 4 hours, almost on the clock. Like, it was pretty much like clockwork. So at that rate, it would be my turn because he'd be going to work anyway. You can see him in the background. So it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, that we created a system, and it was like, because how we had to get up and everything, and get up at like a moment's notice, it was almost like having a newborn for a few days. Almost. And I have to say, I have so much appreciation for Josiah and for our ability to communicate, because he would come home from work and he would cook, he would do the laundry, he would clean, he would do everything so I could just focus on Kylo. And he did it without saying anything. Like, I really appreciate it so much. I really do.
Thank you. I'm just tired.
It's been a long day. It's been a long and very emotional day. But, like, I'm so blessed to have Saya. Mm-hmm. Like, really. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna start crying again. Like I said, it's just been such an emotional day. And it is late. For those of you that were curious, after we got Kylo back, I took Josiah in the car, I loaded Kylo, and I drove Josiah over to the next door so he could grab the car. He followed me home, and both of us made sure Kylo was okay. And once Kylo had drank water and was showing signs of it being happy to live and he wasn't drooling anymore, he fell asleep. And then Josiah and I passed out. It's been a long few days. So here we are now, happy to say that we are out of the woods with Kylo. And yeah, we are very tired though, so we are going to get ready for bed. And I'm probably just going to end this one here. We don't have more news about Josiah's grandma. We will update you on the next one, I think, because we don't have any more updates. But if you could send good vibes and prayers for her, I'm sure that'd be much, much appreciated. Thank you. But we're just grateful that Kylo is okay. It's just times when you're at one of your lowest lows that you realize that the people around you, how supportive that they can be, and just how much you love and appreciate them. And I couldn't ask for anyone better to do life with than Josiah. Well, I'm gonna end it here. Good night, guys. See you next week.